Welcome, one and all, back to StarCraft 2 casting, Wings of Liberty, the ESL Electronic Sports League ProSeries Winter Preliminaries WinterCup1. In the top left on Ohana, we have team alternates Socke, Protoss, and in the bottom right we have another Protoss from Team Mousesports. His name is HasuObs. In the earlier games we saw that Socke beat Hazed pretty handily. He was a Zerg player. And HasuObs went 2-1 over Manchi, who, with a early push pressure, which he found in the first game, Manchi had issues with. Manchi took the second game with some late game finesse that HasuObs had problem with. So the third game was all about that early pressure into a slight mid game for the win. Socke beat Hazed with just pure macro, and the second game looked like it might go in Manchi and Hazed's favor, but it did not. So we have Socke versus HasuObs here. The gateway and then gas. I think HasuObs will have a little bit of an advantage. Wow, double gas for Socke. I think HasuObs will have a little bit of an advantage because he just came from PvP against Manchi, who was quite a good PvPer in my opinion, at least that I've watched recently, even though he was more macro-oriented than HasuObs was. HasuObs tends to go for the one base pressure into expansion, but right now you see we have a mirror match with I believe a scouting zealot coming out from HasuObs. The cybernetic scores are right on, and a second gas is taken for HasuObs. Perhaps maybe one will go for the Twilight Council into and 3 gate, or HasuObs will go for his 1 gate robo and then add on 2 or 3 more gates after that. We're looking at these two players in the Electronic Sports League Winter Cup, which the prize was $700 for this cup. There were 5 of them. If I get requests, I will cast the other ones. I found these on a website, one of the many SC2 replay websites, and I chose it because it was something I didn't think anybody had casted, and I need to set myself to away. There we go. Sorry about that. As you can see, my name is Rob. I go by Chaotic though, and this is Chaotic TV, and I still didn't minimize that. It's the first cast in about 10 hours. I was at work all day, and we do have a robotics facility coming out for Socke this time, and not for HasuObs. HasuObs going for the 3 gate. He's not chrono boosting his cybernetic score. He's not actually using his chrono boost now. Oh, right as I say that, that's a pylon going down, and he does chrono boost the warp gate technology. We have a robotics facility with an observer coming out. I believe he might go for the Twilight Council in a little bit and get blink play, but HasuObs is going for the blink right now. It looks like more gateways are coming out. We have stalkers for HasuObs and a zealot sentry setup for Socke for a little bit of defense from this early pressure of HasuObs. But since they both went one base aggression, I think that it's going to be kind of a mirrored match, and eventually they'll take their second and third bases before there's any real face-to-face aggression. Going heavy units early like this, that basically, look at that, they're about just even up. Look at that. Blink is coming down for HasuObs. He is getting the robotics facility for an observer so he can do some more blink up. This is a really powerful ledge right here for blink play, and you can just chain blink all the way even to here and get all the way in. But there is the pylon for vision. This HasuObs has a pylon. It's a bit further back, so he can't warp into the low ground like I guess Socke can't either. but he has his Nexus out now, and he's getting an Immortal for defense. HasuObs is getting the blink, and it's being chrono boosted. Oh, he saw an Observer. Is his Observer going to chase that one? Socke saw the working Twilight Council and knows the blink is coming. His Nexus is far closer to being done than HasuObs is, but right now the Harvester count is about even up, and we've got more Immortals coming out for Socke, where it looks like HasuObs is going to have to get a whole lot of Stalkers to be able to break through these Immortals. It takes about 8, from my experience at least, it takes about 8 to 10 Stalkers to blink around and take out an Immortal without damaging any health. You can take them out with about 5, but you are going to lose 1 or 2 of those Stalkers because of these. It's just, they have so much health, and even though they get a bonus versus armored, it only applies after the shields are gone. Although I could be wrong about that, I don't know. There are, finally, the Nexus is done for HasuObs, and the double gas already coming out. 1 gas already just finished for Socke, and we have a Stalker train going across the way. But these 2 sentries will be able to force field, and then Hasu will have to blink back. There are split forces in case there's a blink up here, and there are plenty of Immortals to deal with this very small force from HasuObs. He's going to find that out very quickly. His Observer may even get picked off by the Stalker or the sentries if he's unlucky enough, but I think he'll see that there's a pylon and there's forces here, and he just won't. Oh, he is going to go up. He didn't see them at first, I guess. But, so he's just doing a little bit of scouting containment. We have Colossus Tech coming out from both players. We have, I believe, chrono boosted Robotics Bay. Neither is good. Oh, who just got chrono boosted? The Nexus got chrono boosted. He's really probing up right now. He's taking the slight probe lead, but I think that Socke is getting ready to. He's still stacking on some more Colossi. He's going to get he's getting a second robotics facility soon. HasuObs has already started his second and started getting the upgrades. There's a forge coming down for Socke, and his just started right away. These 2 guys are dead on and dead even with their setups. Except that HasuObs is going for a bit more of a probe lead than Socke is, and Socke is chrono boosting his upgrade, as is HasuObs, but Socke's Observer is just seeing everything. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's a V button. Okay. There's a bit of movement from Socke, and if HasuObs is smart, he will pull back with this before he gets taken out. There's going to be a blink back right now. Alright. And they're going to group up and go to the high ground, because I think that Socke is going to take this time to check his third and then plant down a Nexus after doing a little bit of pressure. This Observer might have been spotted. Rippling across the screen, as it were. And there's a side forward pylon coming from HasuObs. Both have a sensor tower, and Twilight Council finally coming up for Socke. I don't think he'll get the anti-blink. I think he's going to go for the Zealot charge, and the double Colossi production continues for both sides. And the fast and Zealot charge is already coming out for HasuObs. The +1/+1 or +1 on each player is about to finish. Which one will start their second quick enough? Yep, there goes HasuObs and Socke are dead even with these upgrades. Twilight Council coming down for Socke. Whereabouts? Where did he put it? All the way in the back. Okay. Templar Archives coming down. He will get some Archons to feather this in when he can't produce any more stock anymore. Look at that, they're 138 of 140 and 136 of 140. They both need to be building pylons. 3 coming down for HasuObs, 2 coming down for Socke. Third base coming down for each player, and Socke is again ahead on the Nexus choice. But the forward pylon for HasuObs is semi there. He could use a more forward one, maybe in this 4th base here. But but Socke has no forward pylon. 5 Colossi versus 6 Colossi versus 5 Colossi in HasuObs' favor, but more definitely the Immortals on Socke's side will be very beneficial to taking out all these 2 extra Stalkers and these Colossi very quickly. If they get targeted down, if there's too much close-up fighting, then the Immortals will be very, very beneficial, and these force fields can zone out any of these extra Zealots that HasuObs has, which he's got a number of them, 8 more. Probe count is about the same because they both have not saturated their 3rd. The minerals are starting to get a bit low on both players, and HasuObs is looking to do a little pressure. They both want to keep a little bit of supply free for any defense at home, but neither player has gone for the shuttle diversion that I saw 2 games ago in HasuObs versus Manchi. So here comes just a little poke by HasuObs, carving up a little bit. Any damage just to a Stalker. HasuObs took a pretty big hit. Nice little line here. Not really a concave of sorts, but the first one they move in all of that. Get some real damage coming in all the way, just melting away. The supply for Socke is shrinking. Got +2 on the other side, but the just higher Colossus count was able to outrange those Immortals I was talking about, and he, if he keeps running, this 1 Immortal and Stalker are going to be taken out right now. Alright. And he's just microing back the weaker Colossi, and he takes a commanding lead of over 40 supply, HasuObs does, to Socke, and there was a run-by of some Zealots. Oh, excuse me, the shuttle diversion I was talking about was able to get around. I didn't see that build, but the Templar weren't able to be used, and and very few Archons were used. But very interesting game from HasuObs and Socke. They were even up until that one big engagement, as it is with so many games, and then HasuObs just had more Colossi and was able to outrange all those Immortals. If they were a close-up, or if he were more Stalker-heavy in his composition, the Immortals would have probably taken out those Stalkers very quickly, very succinctly, and HasuObs would put on a back foot. But since he went heavy on the tanking Zealots with charge, then I believe that's why he took that engagement so handily. We're going to jump right into the next game.